welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which we haven't played before on this channel, and that's Crossfire. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, do please like and subscribe so that you don't miss out in the future, and also join us on Facebook so that you can always be kept updated on what's going on and share what you're working on. So as I said, Crossfire is a game I haven't played before, but I was recommended to play it by some of the comments in the comment sections of other videos, so we thought we'd get straight into it and give it a good try. As you know, I've got a 3D printer, so the miniatures which we've used are 3D printed. If you want some information on that, just put a comment down below and I'll let you know where I get the files from. But yeah, let's get into it. So let's dive into what the battlefield holds for us. Overall, it's a flat bit of terrain, and we're assuming that it's probably somewhere in Holland during Operation Market Garden. There's quite a bit of dense foliage in the form of a few small wood blocks, but also farmers' fields. We've got a few roadways which are flanked by either stone walls, fences or hedgerows. There is a railway line that comes through from the north and heads out in the east, and a small waterway that runs from the north to the south, out of the lake in the north going south. But overall, the main key feature of the town is the town in the centre and the bridge, which is the strategic highway which both sides are trying to gain. And so let's have a look at the forces that are going to be battling today. So for the Allies, we've got British Paras, who have obviously parachuted in, and they've luckily just received reinforcements in the form of a Sherman tank. But we've got one company with company level machine gun and anti-tank weapons. For the Germans, we've got just a regular Heer infantry regiment. Here we've got one company of that, and they are quite lucky to have a Panzer IV. So pretty evenly matched forces. This being our first game with these rules, we didn't want to go too overboard to start with. And so what are the objectives for both players? So for the British, they're going to come on with their 3 platoons, one on the eastern side of the stream. They're going to push up through the fields, and that way they can set up a good field of fire to try and keep any Germans back, whilst the other 2 platoons will be on the western side of the stream. One's going to make a push straight up to try and occupy the village, whilst the 3rd platoon is going to move along the left wing and try and come across and set up positions overlooking the stream. For the Germans, as you're looking at it, their 1st platoon is going to head down the left. They're going to take up positions around that cornfield and along the hedgerows, setting up good fields of fire to keep the British back. The central 2nd platoon is going to advance rapidly, try and cross the bridge and occupy the town, whilst the 3rd platoon is going to cross the fields and again try and set up a good covering position on that right hand side. So turn 1 deployment prior to movement, we've got 1 British platoon on the left. They have a Piat team with them. We've got our 2nd platoon in the centre, they've got 2 machine guns. We've got our Sherman just skirting the village, and our command team just at the back. And on the other side of the creek, moving up, we've got 3rd platoon with a Piat and our mortar observer team. As for the Krauts, we've got our 1st platoon coming in with a machine gun. In the centre we've got a Panzer IV and 2nd platoon, along with the mortar spotter, heavy machine gun commander, and a Panzerfaust team. And then on the left we've got the final platoon with a Panzerfaust times 2 Panzerfausts. So at the end of that initiative phase, I moved this platoon forwards, and as they moved to the edge of the scenery, they got fired upon by the German force in the centre and the tank, and that led to 1 section being suppressed and 2 being pinned, losing my initiative and it going to the Germans. So the German Panzer IV rolled forwards, and the Piat fired and completely missed. As the German platoon advanced, the British took reactive fire, managed to pin the machine gun but nothing else, so pretty ineffective.
and in the centre the German tank and platoon is advanced forwards, so our tank and troops down here are just about to take reactive fire. So with overwhelming German fire with the machine gun and 2 infantry sections, they just knocked out 1 British section, and then the remaining 2 infantry sections and the Panzerfaust, they fired at the troops behind the wall and were able to destroy. The British had their turn. They were able to suppress this German squad as it came into the corn. Then the mortar team fired and missed, and then this heavy machine gun fired and didn't get any hits, so the Germans got the initiative back. So in that British initiative phase, they were able to concentrate fire and take out the German section there. In the centre, we had the machine gun and rifle section commanded by the company commander fired into and were able to destroy the German section that was already suppressed. The British platoon moved into the buildings and then fired in onto the German section, who was again suppressed on this side. So it was a good turn until the Sherman decided to fire at the German Panzer IV and completely whiffed it. Okay, so first thing that the Germans did in their initiative is their tank fired back at the Sherman and blew it to pieces. And because the British troops were just moving into that building, they have also taken a pin. So not good start for the British, but good for the Germans. So over here we just had the Germans try and charge. 2 sections left the wall, 1 got pinned, whilst the second with the platoon leader did make it. However, in close combat they were beaten and killed. So this side has gone from almost certain defeat for the British to kind of parity. So as things seem to be going okay on the right, I decided I would move the platoon forwards on the left into the street to try and engage the Germans in the field, but had 2 of my sections suppressed as they moved into position, losing the initiative, and that has now seen the German Panzer IV making his break to try and charge across to take on my infantry, so we're just going to have a Piat shot to see if he can take him out. So as the Panzer IV came, the Piat fired and missed, swung round, machine gunned the first team, and then drove over the top of the commander. After their success with the Panzer IV, the Germans tried their luck down here for the first section, who fired, rolled 2 1s and lost the initiative to the British. In the British initiative phase, the company commander gathered the troops who were in this little village, farmstead, whatever, and they came across and moved up to the fence to try and lend support on this flank, but at the last second the Germans who were pinned there managed to suppress this squad, losing the initiative for the British, going back to the Germans. Panzer IV machine gunned at the Piat team but missed, losing the initiative and giving it back to the British, who are going to concentrate their assault on this. With the British initiative, the order was given for the whole platoon to open fire, and they've quite badly decimated the Germans on the other side of the fence. Then the company commander ordered the machine gun and a couple of sections here to fire on a section of Germans over there, which they have eradicated. So things are going quite well for the British. So as the British were trying to pull suppression off of their troops so they could launch their assault, they failed, and now the Germans have initiative again.
And the Germans are coming along here. They will get to there.
No, but they will get shot at
They
by
get
the
shot
Piat.
at just there.
Panzer IV driving along, Piat completely missed again, he's absolutely useless, and Panzer IV is now barreling down on this platoon who are trying to cross the road. Firstly he's going to fire his machine guns. The British have gone through the hedge and they've gone into close combat. First section has just won, and we'll find out what happens next. So luckily for the Brits, they managed to pull it off. Just with their overwhelming numbers, they overran the German positions. The Germans regain the initiative, and the tank has just machine gunned and driven over 2 British sections in that area. Not good. The Panzer IV raced down the road. Piat team obviously fired and typically in good fashion missed. He then machine gunned and used his main gun to take out one of the sections. The mortar team fired and missed on that platoon, and now the German machine gun from up here is going to fire onto the British troops in this.
So he's going along there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So the Piat team fired on the Panzer IV, got a penetrating hit,
and the result was he's just going to go full speed into reverse, so he's just going to go all the way back over the bridge and hide over there. So as the tank reversed back, the second British Piet team, who are hiding in the cornfield, fire, get a penetrating hit into the rear of the tank and do 4, which is blows up. So the Panzer IV blows up.
And with the destruction of the Panzer IV, the Germans decided that there was no way of them continuing the assault. Most of their troops were either pinned or destroyed, so they decided they were going to withdraw, and so it was a narrow British victory. Well, we found it to be incredibly enjoyable. One of our most enjoyable games that we've played so far. Let me know what you thought down below. Did we make some mistakes? Probably. Let me know if you noticed any. But we will definitely be coming back to Crossfire in the future, and no doubt, in typical Browning fashion, we will completely modify the rules as we go and end up with something that's completely different. But hey, we're wargamers and that's what we do. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do please like and subscribe, and also comment down below as to what you want to see next, and I'll see you next time.